Okay, now we shall discuss one very interesting theory, and it's a very big and popular part of modern physics. It's called the Big Bang Theory. But in fact, we must say that this theory is not a perfect and ready theory, because it has no beginning and no end, really. And if we start to read the beginning of this theory, putting away all the unnecessary words, like leaving only the most important words, it sounds like it is the text from some holy text from some holy Bible of ancient tribes or ancient civilizations. Because of just listen, in the unknown day, in the moment of time which was not a moment of time, because of there was no time yet in the world, in the point of space without coordinates, because of there was no space at all still, among in the midst of the great nothing, right exactly from the great nothing, the Big Bang happened. The Big Bang happened, and it has given birth to everything, to all matter and energy of the universe, and the evolution of the universe has begun. And you now really see that it looks and it sounds like it's some sacred text, but it's not a scientific theory. But this is a part of the theory that many supporters and their authors of the of the Big Bang theory are George Gamow, Alexander Friedman, and Georges Lemaitre, and also Hubble. Yes, and these four men, they try to join their theory, to combine their theory with all the other parts of physics. So let's look at arguments and points against the Big Bang theory, because I promise you they are quite numerous. First of all, they say, the authors and supporters of the Big Bang theory, that the energy of the Big Bang was spent on expanding of the universe, and now we observe the universe that we observe. It is 95% vacuum and only 5% matter. So roughly saying, it means that the concentration of energy in matter in the beginning of the Big Bang was 95 divided by 5, 19 times greater, 19 times higher than nowadays. How was it possible? How do they join this point of their theory with quantum physics? How was it possible for quanta of energy to be able to pack in the unit of volume, so much more densely? And also, let's continue. We can understand everything if we compare, as one proverb says. So, when, for example, we look at the greatest explosion in the world that we can observe, it's the gamma radiation burst. It's a burst of such a great amount of energy that all the galaxy is like stricken by lightning, and even in the nearby galaxies, somebody can observe this burst. And during this great, the amount of energy is so great that our sun, our own star, would be able to burn and continue to shine 10 billion years using this energy. But let's look how far goes the products of this explosion that have mass. And this distance is 10 or 20 light years. Energy goes very far, but mass and matter doesn't go further than 20 light years. And for example, let's compare it to our galaxy. Our galaxy is 100,000 light years. Then our local group is 3.2 millions of light years. And then we also observe such great objects such as Great Wall of Sloan, and for also Great Wall, Hercules, Aurora Borealis. And these objects are 10 billions light years long. So roughly calculating, we must assume that we must say that the concentration of quanta, the concentration of energy in the unit of volume was 10 billion times greater, higher in the moment of the Big Bang than nowadays. That is roughly calculating, if we make a comparison, our Sun would be able to be packed in the volume occupied only by 38 atoms of hydrogen. So it's impossible. The authors and supporters of this theory do not show any calculations and or any explanations how could it be, how can it be possible that matter head of the universe have now such properties, and at those times the properties were so dramatically other. So why quanta of energy and matter have lost the possibility to be packed in some unit of volume in 10 billion times. Also, the authors of the Big Bang theory, they break the law, the law of the cause and effect, that says that every cause in the world, in the universe, must have consequences, must have some effects. There cannot be any phenomenon, any process in the world that does not cause any consequences, doesn't create any effects. And also any effect cannot be like a final effect that that doesn't produce any further consequences. So all the events and all the phenomena in all the process in the world, they're connected by cause and law, cause and effect law. And but the creators of the Big Bang theory, they say that our universe expands and matter and energy flows from the center to the edge of the universe. But on the edge of the universe, photon, when because of it is moving with the speed of light, because of it is light itself, so it just leaves our universe. It is no longer connected to our universe with no energetic, with no physical, with no even informational connections. So our universe bursts apart and flies and explodes apart into billions and billions of independent parts, and each of these part can be considered as a separate universe. So it's a total nonsense. It's a total breach of logic. It's an iron argument against the Big Bang theory, because of also the law of conservation of matter and energy, that is that states that all the matter and energy in the universe is a constant, is constant. That is, the amount of matter cannot be destroyed from the universe. Even the smallest part of matter in our universe cannot be destroyed. Matter can be only distributed or rearranged or change its position or state, but it cannot disappear without any consequences, absolutely. And also energy also can be energy also can be only distributed, transformed into other forms, into other places, but it cannot be destroyed from this universe. And the Big Bang theory breaks this law at the edge on the universe that this theory describes for us. That is, they say that energy and matter can leave our universe and never go back. So then the law of conservation of law and energy would not act in our universe. And one for this video, very strong argument against the Big Bang theory is that the authors of this theory, they were creating this theory in the 1920s, and one of them, Georges Lemaitre, he was actually a Catholic priest, so he wasn't a serious scientist, and also all these men, Hubble, Friedman and Gamow, they did not possess complex, comprehensive, wide and deep knowledge about physics and about universe, and even more, they did not know, moreover, didn't know about matter and energy and the laws, their laws and their properties at the micro level at those time, because even neutron, it was discovered only in 1939, so they did not know how matter acts at micro level, but they have built this global theory. They have built this very great theory, but this theory must be built in the end of the development of physical sciences. That is, the architecture, he cannot plan and he cannot describe a house or some building before he knows the properties of the brick. And they didn't know the properties, for example, of neutrino, quarks, tau neutrinos and stuff like that, neutrons, protons and stuff like that. But they have described this global scenario for our universe. So there is no logic to describe some global process without knowing the properties of the elements involved in this process. So it's I gave you 5 arguments, iron arguments against the theory of Big Bang, but these arguments are not all. The others in the next video.